Hello everyone, this is the Commander, and today I'm going to review the first episode of Star Wars The Bad Batch, the new animated series on Disney Plus. Came out on May the 4th. Sorry I couldn't get this video out by then. I've just been really busy recently, so sorry about that, but please make sure to subscribe for more Bad Batch reviews. I hear there's another one coming out on Friday, so I will be there with the review. And this was an absolutely fantastic episode. 74 minutes long. It's essentially a mini movie. And yeah, this is really good. And it's going to play. It's not the little detached spin-off of the Clone Wars like we thought it was going to be. It seems more centralized what's happening in that shortened time after Order 66. And so yeah, there will be spoilers from now on. So if you do not want to get it spoiled, please go away. And yeah, it's just a great episode. I'm going to get into the details of the episode now. So starting off, we started on this icy forest style planet. I don't know what the name of it was, but we started with Master Depa Billaba and Caleb Dume, who is Kanan from Star Wars Rebels. So it's really cool to see him in here. Though I will say it's weird because it's the same actor who he's like 30 or something. So it's like a 30-year-old man's voice and a 14-year-old. So that's just weird. But it's fine because we know who Kanan is. But that was just pretty funny in my opinion. So yeah, you've got the Bad Batch there, their Legion, Depa Billaba's Legion is there. So yeah, and then Execute Order 66 happens from Palpatine, and as we know from Star Wars Rebels, Depa Billaba is shot down by the clones, and then Kanan escapes, and then he runs away from the Bad Batch because he's like, they're also clones. They didn't shoot down any Jedi, but they are clones, and we do know they do not have those chips in them, or they don't have the effect of the Order. But so yeah, then he runs away, and eventually he's at this cliff, and Hunter is trying to get him to stay with him and trying to gain its trust. And then Crosshair comes in. Before Crosshair comes in, Caleb Kanan, same thing, jumps across the cliff. It was pretty amazing he could do that at such a young age. And then he's gone, and then Crosshair comes in, and Hunter said that he fell down the cliff and died, but Crosshair is not too sure about that, so Crosshair's a little suspicious here of the death of Caleb Dume. He doesn't think he actually died, and in general, this whole episode, Crosshair, it's just a little off from the rest of the group, and it's still kind of unclear who the bad guys and who the good guys are at this point, because the Bad Batch are like, okay, Order 66 just happened, we're kind of surprised, but they don't know which side to pick. So then, after all this stuff on that planet, sorry, I don't know the name of it, you can probably search it up somewhere, they go back to Kamino, good old Kamino, where the clones are, and we find the female clone, I think that's what she is. That's what people were talking about her, that we saw in the trailer, Omega. And so she's like she just followed the Bad Batch around. It's honestly pretty funny. And she's kind of like homeless. She doesn't really have parents. The closest thing to parents for her are the Kaminoans, the Kaminoans were another group that they were kind of like switched between the Empire and the Republic, because they want to keep the clones, but they'll go to the Empire. So it's very interesting how it's not clear cut which side. everybody at town, and I really like that because generally that's how things are in movies, and I like the more gray area in this show. So yeah, on Camino, the Bad Batch arrives, and by the way, I like the Bad Batch a lot more in this episode than I did in Clone Wars Season 7. I just like, they're more character, more personality, and it will be very interesting to see how they develop throughout the show. Although the one complaint I have is that Echo and Tech seem a little too similar. They're both kind of like the techie guy. There's not too much differential in like their skills, but hopefully that will flesh out throughout this season. Okay, so on Camino, the Bad Batch, it's noticing that all the regular clones are acting weird. They're not acting like they were before. They're acting like robots. And then they do learn that they were programmed. That's what Tech said. So, yeah, it becomes a very interesting thing. And they get to see, it's the Palpatine's message for I am the Emperor, and the transition to the Empire. So that's very cool to see from the clone's perspective. And yeah, and we also get to see Tarkin a lot in this episode. He'll be one of the big villains in the show, it seems like. Trying to end the clones, basically. It's his goal. Switch over to just regular people. So yeah, he's the big villain here, seems like. So yeah, after Camino, they were given a mission to go to Onderon, which is where Saw Gerrera is, and we know him from the Clone Wars. It's kind of as fighting against the Separatists with Anakin, Ahsoka, and Rex, and then also we know him from Rebels and some more stuff like that. I think he was in Rogue One, and he might even be. Oh yeah, he was also in Jedi Fallen Order. So it's appeared in a lot of stuff. So we get to see Saw Gerrera in this new rebel kind of organization. And yeah, it's just a lot of people that have been like displaced from their homes due to the Empire. And it really showed you how big the effects of the whole change into the Empire in Order 66 have been. And there the Bad Batch realized that the Empire is the wrong side, but Crosshair still thinks the Empire is the right way to go, which I will talk about later, how that transitions in this episode to its personality and all that stuff. So yeah, after Onderon, they leave to go back to Camino. They didn't do much of anything on Onderon. Oh yeah, they went back to Camino in order to get Omega, because we've learned that there's 5 Bad Batch members, 5 with the changed genetics or whatever it was from the clones. And Echo, it's just a reg, as they say. And so they learned that, well, that's Crosshair, Tech, Hunter, Wrecker. Echo's just a reg. There must be one more who they assumed is Omega. So they went back to get Omega on Camino. So then they all end up in this prison cell, but then Wrecker busts out, but the hole is too small. It can only fit Omega, so she goes up through the vent, and then the vent comes down, lands down on the clones there, and they are able to escape. So then they go, at the same time, Crosshair, the Tarkin and the Kaminoans have noticed that he supports the Empire the most of any of them. So they're trying to heighten that feeling inside its brain with this whole procedure. So then everybody except Crosshair and the Bad Batch tried to escape to the Bad Batch shuttle, and then here comes Crosshair in its new armor, all black, green visor, Crosshairs joined the Empire, which we kind of already knew because some leaks came out earlier. But yes, Crosshairs now joined the Empire. Quite a sad moment how he's going against all of his former friends. So yeah, he's shooting at them, but eventually, and even Omega fired a gun, which is a little unrealistic, but it's Star Wars very realistic, of course not. So yeah, they're eventually able to get away, but Crosshair is now part of the Empire. And so yeah, it'll be interesting to see if he switches back later in this season. But yeah, this was a fantastic episode. Great job, Dave Filoni. He's been crushing it recently. So yeah, there are 16 episodes of this, I believe, which is pretty good. And I'm very excited for the future of the series. So yep, stay tuned for more of the videos. And this is The Commander, signing out.